Students, today we are going to discuss about the types of adsorption, and second one is the factors that influence the extent of adsorption. Two things we have to cover in this video. See here, you know the basic principle of the adsorption. The adsorbate molecules are adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent. This is the adsorption. In this process, adsorbate molecules are held up on the surface of the adsorbent through some attractions. During the adsorption, attractions are established between the adsorbate molecules and surface of the adsorbent. Due to these attractions, that is, adsorbate is held on the surface of the adsorbent. This we know, it's not a new thing for us. Now, that is a sort of force of attractions are establishing between the surface and that is adsorbate molecules. The next thing is to explain or to illustrate the word any adsorption phenomena, normally we take the word solid as the adsorbent, a fixed surface. The molecules are not mobile. Surface area, surface molecules remain fixed. Number of molecules in the unit area are more. And adsorbent, gas is taken as the adsorbent. So that is, gas is adsorbing on the surface of that is solid. Solid is providing the surface, gas is providing the molecules for the adsorption. Well, anyhow, for the adsorption phenomena, attractions to be established between the surface of the adsorbent and adsorbate molecules. One. Now, what we are doing, on what basis we are classifying here adsorption phenomena? We are mainly classifying into two types based on the nature of the attractions between the surface of the adsorbent and molecules of the adsorbate. What sort of attractions are established between these two? Taking the attractions into consideration, the adsorption is classified into two types. One is the physical adsorption. The other is the chemical adsorption. In the physical adsorption, weak van der Waals forces are acting between that is adsorbent molecules and adsorbent surface. Between the surface of the solid and gas molecules, only weak van der Waals attractions are involved. The such adsorption phenomena is called as that is physical adsorption or simply physisorption. Both are same. Physical adsorption and physisorption is same. Similarly, if during the adsorption process, that is, if the chemical bonds are formed between the gas molecules and surface of the solid, then that adsorption is called as the chemical adsorption or chemisorption. See, this is the basis for the classification of the adsorption. So, van der Waal attractions are very, very, very weak attractions. That is the adsorption phenomena in which the van der Waal attractions are, that is weak van der Waal attractions are binding the gas molecules on the surface of the solid is called as the physisorption or physical adsorption. And the adsorption phenomena where the chemical bonds are formed, strong chemical bonds are formed between the adsorbent and adsorbate molecules is called as the chemisorption or chemical adsorption. See, weaker attractions here, stronger attractions here. Now, we have to, that is discuss about the physical adsorption, characteristic properties of the physical adsorption and chemical adsorption. What is the main difference between the physical and the chemical adsorption? I have taken the, instead of writing, I have taken the list of properties that to be taken into consideration in deciding that is to compare the physical adsorption and chemical adsorption, chemisorption. So what are this is the adsorbent molecule, this is the adsorbent. The adsorbate molecules are held up on this. A sort of attractions are, that is established. Forces are established between the two. So that is nature. What are the nature of the attractions? So in physical adsorption, so weak van der Waal attractions. Here, weak van der Waal attractions are established between that is the adsorbate molecules and surface of the adsorbent. Very, very weak van der Waal attractions. Whereas here, chemical adsorption, the bond is forming between the chemical bond is forming between the adsorbate and adsorbent surface. Chemical bonds are formed. Strong bonds, strong attractions, strong bonds are formed. Here the weak bonds are formed. Whatever the attraction that is generated between the two species, we can call it as the bond. Attraction, no doubt. That is binding. The binding force is very less, very, very less. Binding force is very high. Strong binding force. And that is a physical, van der Waal attractions, that is van der Waal adsorption, chemical adsorption. And next one is during the adsorption. See, nature of the molecular layer. See, the surface is covered with that is gas molecules. They are adsorbed on the surface that is through unimolecular layer or multimolecular layer. See, in case of the physisorption, it is a multimolecular phenomena. Multimolecular phenomena. Multimolecular. Under low pressure conditions, unimolecular phenomena. Only surface is covered with the only, that is one layer is formed. And if the pressure is that is unimolecular under low pressure conditions. Under high pressure conditions, that is multimolecular, more than one layer is formed. Let me take this example. This is the particle. This is and low pressure conditions, only unimolecular layer is formed. Under high pressure conditions, that is this is formed unimolecular layer, and second layer, over this layer another layer is formed. Second layer is formed, third layer is formed. So the physical adsorption can be unimolecular or multimolecular. Under low pressure conditions unimolecular, under high pressure conditions multimolecular layer is formed. Whereas here surface of the adsorbent is involved in the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is involved. Therefore here, that is the atoms present on the surface are chemically reacting and forming the bonds. That is, only unimolecular layer formation is possible. The atom present on the surface react with it, only one molecule. Each atom reacts with only one molecule. Unimolecular layer is formed. The multimolecular layer formation is not possible in the chemisorption. Unimolecular layer. The next thing is that is here in the physisorption, no electrons are involved. Valence electrons are not involved. Whereas here the electrons and orbitals are involved, chemically bonded. That is chemisorption, chemically bonded. For chemical reaction, the electrons and orbitals have to take part in the reaction. That is, they have to involve in the formation of the chemical bond. Therefore, this is, that is, in the physical adsorption, electrons are not involved, valence electrons. That is, in the chemical adsorption, that is, valence electrons are involved, the strong chemical bonds are formed. The next one is the specificity of the surface. So, that is, physical adsorption is non-specific. It takes place on all surfaces, solid surfaces. All the solid surfaces, on the surface there are fixed number of atoms. So they are extending the attractions through their residual attractions, that is valencies, they are attracting and retaining the molecules of the other substance. Therefore, so this is no specificity. That is, this is positive, physical adsorption is possible on all surfaces. Whereas if you come to the chemical, so that is non-specific. So that is, hydrogen is adsorbed on the charcoal, hydrogen is adsorbed on the silica gel. See, all like this we can take about any number of this thing. And non-specific takes place on all surfaces. Whereas here reaction has to take place. Right? Reaction has to take place. Therefore, this is in chemical adsorption, that is, and it is possible on specific surfaces. That is, there must be a chemical reaction between the surface of the adsorbent and adsorbate molecules. So, chemisorption is not possible on all surfaces. There must be a chemical affinity between the two chemicals, that is the adsorbent and adsorbate. So, this is the rare phenomena. This is a very common phenomena. Everywhere you can see. And next one is the heat of adsorption. What is the meaning of the heat of the adsorption? Adsorption is an exothermic process. The attractions are establishing between the surface of the solid and gas molecules. I am taking the gas molecules as the adsorbate and surface as the solid as the surface. Adsorbate. So, attractions are, wherever the attractions are formed, that is, energy is liberated. Therefore, adsorption is an exothermic process. How much energy? The amount of the heat liberated when 1 mole of the gas is adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent is called as the, that is, molar heat of adsorption. So, in physical adsorption heat is liberated, in chemical adsorption heat is liberated. So, exothermic process, both are exothermic process, but that is amount of the heat liberated depends on the, that is, strength of the bonds, the strength of the forces. That is, here in case of the physical adsorption, weak van der Waals attractions are established. Here the chemical bonds are formed, that is, the bonding energy liberated in the formation of the chemical bonds is more and stronger bonds, and here weaker bonds. So heat of absorption in physisorption is less, that is delta H is low in physical absorption. It is in the range of 20 kilojoules to that is 40 kilojoules. This is nothing but the, so that is 5 kilocalories to 10 kilocalories. This is the range, approximate range of the, that is physisorption, weak attractions. Whereas here bonds are forming. When bonds are during the formation of the chemical bonds, so lot of heat is liberated. So for chemical absorption due to the formation of the strong bonds, the heat delta H is high. This is in the range of 40 kilojoules to 400 kilojoules. That is 10 kilocalories to, that is 100 kilocalories of energy is liberated. Heat of chemisorption, heat of chemical absorption is very high. Heat of chemical absorption, physical absorption is very less. The next one, and what about the nature of the gases? What type of gases that is involved in the, that is physical absorption and chemical absorption? Is there any selectivity for the gases? I told you normally for the practical purpose, for absorption phenomena, to explain the absorption phenomena, we take the solid adsorbent and gaseous adsorbate. So now, nature of the gases. So that is in the physical absorption, no selectivity. This has, adsorbent has no selectivity and adsorbate has no selectivity. All the gases are adsorbed on all the surfaces. See here, and that is the gases which have they have to establish the attractions. According to the ideal gas theory, they should not establish the attractions, any attractions. No intermolecular attraction, they should not establish any attractions. But they all are real gases. So that is the gases which have the greater, which experience the greater intermolecular attractions, which are closer to the reality, are adsorbed to the greater extent. How do you decide reality? That is in terms of the liquefaction, and that is TC, critical temperature. Every gas has its own critical temperature. That is the temperature at which or below which a gas can be liquefied is called as that is critical temperature. The temperature above which gas cannot be liquefied is called as the critical temperature. Every gas has a characteristic temperature. To liquefy the gas, so it has to be cooled below that temperature, and above that temperature that gas cannot be liquefied. So every gas has its own characteristic temperature, critical temperature. So here that is, and critical temperature depends on the intermolecular attractions. Higher the critical temperature, that is stronger the intermolecular attractions. Easily that gas deviates from the gas laws. The gases which deviate from the gas laws, they readily undergo the liquefaction. For liquefaction, that is intermolecular attraction, they have to deviate from the gas laws. That is, they should experience the stronger attractions. So gases which are, that is, have the higher critical temperature, are more readily adsorbed. More readily adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent. But here critical temperature has no role on the chemical adsorption. Here, on the surface of the solid, a gas has to be that is held up through chemical process. To held up through the chemical process, there must be a chemical affinity between the surface and gas molecule. That is the nature. It should have, the gas should have the chemical reaction with the surface. Here, to adsorb, that is the gas should be, that is, as the critical temperature increases, higher the critical temperature, the extent of the adsorption is more readily adsorbed. So that is the easily liquefiable gas are adsorbed on the surface of a solid. So that is to the greater extent in physisorption, but they have no role on the critical temperature, has no role on the chemical adsorption at all. Next one is the temperature. What is the effect of the temperature on the? You know that the adsorption is a exothermic process. Desorption is an endothermic process. So these are held up on the surface of the, that is, adsorbent through weak attractions or this one. So what happens if you increase the temperature? What happens? The kinetic energy of the, here there is a binding force. Weaker binding attractions are forces are acting between these two. Therefore, what happens as you increase the temperature of the system, then the molecule gets the more and more, adsorbed molecule gets the more and more energy, and that comes out of the surface of the adsorbent. So that is increasing the temperature, the favors the desorption. Decrease of temperature favors the adsorption. Why it favors the adsorption? What is the relation between the temperature? So that is, adsorption is an exothermic process. According to the Le Chatelier principle, that is, as you increase the temperature, endothermic process is activated, that is, the exothermic process is decelerated. Therefore, adsorption is an exothermic process. The low temperature conditions are favorable and high temperature conditions are unfavorable. Therefore, if you come to the physical adsorption, so what happens as the temperature decreases, extent of adsorption increases. As the temperature increases, that is, extent of the physical adsorption decreases. The increase of temperature favors the desorption. For desorption, energy is required. You are supplying the energy. By taking that energy, it is desorbed from the surface. So that is physical. If you come to the physical adsorption and determine the temperature, as the temperature increases, extent of the adsorption decreases. Extent of the adsorption decreases. So what about the chemical adsorption? So it is a chemical reaction. So that is, as the temperature increases, the rate of reaction increases. So why? To carry out the reaction, some additional amount of the energy is required, which is known as the activation energy. On the surface, chemical reaction is taking place. So, as you increase the temperature, in case of the chemical adsorption, first, that is, this is the case. As you increase the temperature, then what happens? That is, extent of the adsorption increases. You are increasing the temperature. That is, extent of adsorption x by m is increasing. Because as you increase the temperature, more and more molecule surface and that is adsorbate molecules are getting the sufficient amount of energy to take part in the chemical reaction. So, but after certain temperature, if we further increase the temperature, what happens? That is, the chemical bonds are break the chemical bond that comes out, that the rate of the adsorption decreases. So up to the certain temperature, that is, as the temperature increases, initially that is extent of the adsorption increases, rate of adsorption or extent of the adsorption increases, but after certain temperature, that is on further increasing it decreases. So but here in case of the physical adsorption, if you take the physical adsorption, that is as the x by m, and temperature, as the temperature increases, that is exponential, that is the extent of the adsorption decreases because the molecules are easily dissolved. As the temperature increases, that is it promotes that is the desorption process. This is the physical adsorption. This is the graphical representation of the chemical adsorption. This is extent of the adsorption, the amount of the gas or volume of the gas that is absorbed, that is on unit mass of the adsorbent. This is called as the extent of adsorption. The amount of the gas adsorbed on the unit mass or per gram of the adsorbent is called as the extent of adsorption. If you come to the physical adsorption, as the temperature increases, that is extent of adsorption decreases, whereas in case of the chemical adsorption, as the temperature increases, initially the extent of adsorption increases. After certain temperature, that is here surface complex is forming, the superficial atoms are involved in the chemical reaction. If you further increase the temperature, then what happens? The bonds again break, and that is desorption takes place. Rate of or extent of the adsorption, chemical adsorption decreases. This is for the graphical representation. So between the extent of adsorption and temperature for chemisorption, this is for physisorption. And now if you come to pressure of the gas. Yes, pressure of the gas. See, if you take this is the gas, this is the adsorbent. See what is happening? The molecules are coming in contact with the surface of the adsorbent and they remain fixed on the surface of the adsorbent. See what happens as the constant pressure increases, concentration is increasing. As the pressure increases, then what happens? That is the number of molecules striking the surface of the adsorbent increases. Right? Number of molecules that are striking the collision theory, striking the surface of the adsorbent increases. Volume decreases, number of gas molecules present in the unit volume increases. Number of gas molecules that are in direct contact with that is adsorbent surface is increasing. So indirectly you are increasing the concentration of the gas by increasing the pressure. Therefore what happens? That is as the pressure increases, that what happens? More and more collisions takes place with the surface. Gas molecules make the more and more collisions with the surface of the adsorbent. Therefore, the extent of the adsorption increases. So, if you come to the physical adsorption, as the pressure increases, extent of adsorption increases, gradually increases. But what happens? See, more and more surface area, the greater extent the gas is absorbed. But at one point, what happens? That is, entire surface area is covered by the gas molecules. No surface is left for the adsorption. If that is the case, if that situation comes, if that state is, if that state comes, then on further increasing, there is no place for the adsorption. Therefore, what happens? The adsorption remains constant, extent of the adsorption does not affect. So, what is the generalization? Yes, physical adsorption depends on that is pressure of the gas. As the pressure increases, extent of adsorption increases under low pressure conditions. But as the pressure increases, then what happens? And at a particular pressure, after particular pressure and further increasing, there will be no change in the extent of adsorption. Let me write the graphically. See, this is the case. X by m extent of adsorption, and this is the pressure. So along the x-axis, the pressure is increasing. See, what is the observation? This is increasing, and finally from here to here it is parallel to, it's almost parallel to x-axis. Here up to this point, that is, as the pressure increases, extent of adsorption is increasing. So here moderate pressure conditions increasing extent of adsorption, and but after this point, that is, there is no change in the, that is, extent of adsorption, even though you increase the pressure, no pressure effect on the extent of adsorption. This is called as the saturation pressure, PS, where entire surface is, that depends on the pressure, extent of adsorption. As the pressure increases, extent of adsorption increases, the pressure at which the extent of adsorption is maximum. The entire surface of the adsorbent is, that is involved in the adsorption, is called as the pressure of saturation or saturation pressure. After that point, on further increasing due to lack of the surface for the further adsorption, after that pressure, on increasing the pressure, there will be no change in the that extent of adsorption. This is the something about the physical adsorption, right? And if you come to the next one, is that what about the chemical adsorption? Chemical adsorption also same. Chemical adsorption also increases. What you are doing? I told you, increase of the pressure of the gas is nothing. P is proportional to C. P is proportional to C. Pressure of the gas is proportional to its concentration. So that is the number of molecules present in the unit volume, number of moles present in the unit volume. That is, you can write the expression, that is PV is equal to nRT. P is equal to N by VRT. This is P is equal to number of moles divided by volume in liters, moles per liter is concentration. Thus P is equal to CRT. Under constant temperature condition, these two become the constant. P is proportional to C. Pressure of the gas is directly proportional to the concentration. So what you are doing, whether it is a chemical adsorption or physical adsorption, that is, as you increase the pressure, what happens? Concentration is increasing. So the most of the chemical reaction, rates of the chemical reactions are directly proportional to the concentration. There is a relation between the law of mass action. So rate of the forward reaction is directly proportional to the product of the concentration of the reactants, and similarly there is backward reaction. So therefore what happens? Rate of adsorption, reaction is taking place, right? On the surface of the solid, that is chemical reaction is taking place. You are increasing the pressure, you are increasing the concentration of the one of the reactant indirectly. Therefore what happens? The pressure of the rate of the reaction increases, that is extent of the chemical absorption increases. That is effect of the pressure of the gas, that is chemical adsorption increases, physical adsorption increases. Physisorption increases, chemisorption increases as the pressure increases. But here I told you, but once the entire, that is the pressure effect is observed only up to certain pressure. After that pressure, there will be no change in the extent of adsorption, even though you increase the pressure of the gas. This is the pressure effect. See here you see, let me take up the two things, that is pressure and temperature, right? One is the temperature, the other is the pressure. These are the two important factors. which influence the absorption, extent of absorption. As the temperature increases, that is extent of absorption decreases. X by m decreases. X by m is nothing but the volume of the gas or mass of the gas that is absorbed on the 1 gram of the adsorbent decreases, because it, as the temperature increases, it promotes that is desorption, and as the pressure increases, X by m is increased up to certain point, up to saturation point, increases. The effect of the pressure and temperature are exactly opposite. So if you increase the temperature, absorption, extent of absorption is decreasing. If you increase the pressure, extent of absorption is increasing. So therefore, that is and you have to study the effect of the pressure by keeping the temperature constant, and effect of temperature by keeping the pressure constant. One is called as the isobar and other is called as the isothermal. So their effect is exactly opposite. Pressure of the activation energy. So that is for every process, physical or chemical process. So even though it is an exothermic process, some additional energy is required. That's called as the minimum amount of the additional energy required for a process to carry out is called as the activation energy. In the physisorption, activation energy of the physisorption is almost negligible. Through what is the driving force? The solid surface is extending its surface attractions towards the gas molecules. So gas molecule is absorbed. It is not experiencing the much repulsions with the surface of the solid. So this is almost spontaneous process. Physisorption is a spontaneous process. That is, activation energy is, for this is nearly zero or negligible. Saying zero is wrong, negligible. But if you come to the chemical adsorption, that is, chemical reaction has to take place. Bond breaking, bond forming. So that is, for every chemical reaction has its own activation energy, considerable amount of the activation energy, their activation energy is more. For the chemical adsorption, the activation energy is more. For physical adsorption, activation energy is negligible. Therefore, physical adsorption is a spontaneous process, rapid process. No additional energy is required. Surface has the residual attractions. Through its residual attractions, it is attracting. Therefore, that is, activation energy is very negligible. Therefore, this is a physical adsorption is a rapid and spontaneous process, and chemical adsorption is a slow process. More energy is required. A molecule to take part in the chemisorption, that is, it should possess a certain amount of energy. So that is, it has to involve in the surface complex, formation of the surface. The particles present on the surface of the adsorbent should chemically interact with this one. In that process, the old bonds have to break and the new bonds have to form. For the bond framing, breaking, the lot of energy is required. Therefore, for the chemisorption, the energy needed, more energy is needed. That is, activation energy is high. Therefore, it is very specific. The next one is the surface area. How activation energy is very high. And next, surface area. So it is adsorption is a surface phenomenon. Whether it is a physical adsorption or chemical adsorption, whatever it is, nature of the forces are different, but that is exerted is different. But it is a surface phenomena. It is not the property related to the interior of the material. Therefore, this is surface area. So more surface area, greater extent of adsorption, whether it is a physical or chemical adsorption. So as the surface area increases, then what happens? Extent of adsorption also increases. I have taken the 1 gram of the charcoal. See, 1 gram of the charcoal is not important. It's that is particle size, total surface area that is available, or the surface area of the catalyst is the adsorbent is important. So as you decrease the size of the particle, as you powder and more and more and more and finely divided powder, that is each particle is divided into 100 particles, then what happened? The total surface area is abnormally increased. So it is a surface phenomena. Its mass is not the important. That is, as the surface area increases, that is the extent of the adsorption increases. Therefore, it may be physical adsorption or chemical adsorption, and that is so as the surface area increases, x by m increases. Both the cases, that is the extent of the adsorption increases. The reversibility of the process. So reversibility, desorption. So in the physical adsorption, that is the molecules are held with the weak van der Waals attractions. For the desorption is an endothermic process. That is, in the physical adsorption, the energy needed for the molecule to escape from the surface of the adsorbent is very less. So that is, reversibility is more. Desorption is easy in case of the physical adsorption, because since they are, that is, adsorbate molecules are, that is, held up there on the surface through weak attractions. Therefore, that is, less energy is required for the desorption. Here, chemically attached, it has to come out, that is, chemical bond has to break, more energy is required. Desorption is difficult. Desorption is very easy. So, that is, I can say that physical adsorption is highly reversible. Adsorbed gases are easily dissolved. Here, adsorbed gases are chemically attached to the surface. To come out, they have to break that bond, the strong chemical bond existing between the surface of the adsorbent and gas molecule. Therefore, it is difficult, almost irreversible. So that is, reversibility is more, reversibility is negligible here, chemical adsorption. The ease of, that is desorption. I told you, ease of desorption and reversibility one and same. That is, ease of desorption. Ease of desorption for the physical adsorption is more and chemical adsorption is less. And rate of adsorption, where it is. And in one case, physical adsorption, weak attractions. In chemical adsorption, chemical bond should form. Chemical bond formation is a slow process. That is, just establishing the surface attractions through van der Waals forces, that is London forces, is very easy. Therefore, rate of physical adsorption is a rapid process. Physisorption is rapid process. More readily takes place. Rate of physical adsorption is very rapid and non-specific. It takes place on all surfaces. Whereas this is and chemisorption is very selective. There must be a chemical reaction between this and that is a gas and surface of the solid. Whereas, therefore, what happens here, that is the rate of physical adsorption is that is more, rate of chemical adsorption is less rapidly take place. Slow process, this is that is fast process. Quickly, that is rapidly takes place, spontaneous reaction. Physical adsorption is a spontaneous process. The immediately entire surface is covered and within no time that is equilibrium is established. Whereas chemical adsorption is a very slow process and it is very selective. It takes place on this one. And physical adsorption may be a unimolecular or multimolecular phenomena, whereas chemical adsorption is a unimolecular phenomena because surface atoms have to involve in the chemical bonding. Suppose you take that is hydrogen gas. If it is sent over that is carbon, charcoal, it is adsorbed, physically adsorbed. and same hydrogen is that is sent over the nickel surface of the nickel, then what happens? It is chemically absorbed. Hydrogen is chemically absorbed on the surface of the nickel, whereas same hydrogen is physically absorbed on the surface of the carbon. Here it is forming a sort of bonds. When ethylene is passed through surface of the nickel, ethylene is passed, the pi electron cloud is forming the pi complex with the nickel. Right? Similarly, we can take any number of examples. When the carbon monoxide is passed over the nickel, the carbon reacts with this, chemically reacts with this, and superficially NiCO taken 4 times is formed. Tetracarbonyl nickel 0 is formed. Chemically absorbed. Chemisorption. Whereas the carbon monoxide is passed over the some other thing like what I have to take, silica gel, aluminum oxide, it is just absorbed on the surface, absorbed on the surface of it. So for the chemisorption, there must be a chemical affinity between the gas and the surface of the adsorbent. So this is the difference between that is physical adsorbent. I will send a detailed chart of this through, that is WhatsApp, and neatly not organized here. I have taken the points that to be covered, rewind the video and read it. So this is these are the 2 types of the adsorption phenomena, and chemical adsorption and physical adsorption. So the basic difference between the chemical adsorption and physical adsorption I explained here. The next part is this is the classification of the adsorption phenomena, types of adsorption, and characteristic properties of that is 2 types of adsorption phenomena, chemical and physical adsorption. Now, second thing is the factors affecting the adsorption. What are the factors that affect that influence the adsorption or extent of adsorption? Here we always use a term extent of adsorption. What is the meaning of extent of adsorption? That is denoted with the X by M. This is the mass of gas adsorbed by mass of adsorbent. So now you know the mass of the gas adsorbed per unit mass of the adsorbent. That is called as the extent of adsorption. Greater the absorption, greater the extent of adsorption. So what are the practical parameters that influence the extent of adsorption or adsorption phenomena? See, the extent of the adsorption depends on these factors. One is the nature of adsorbent. 2. Nature of adsorbate. 3. Pressure of the gas or partial pressure of the gas which is in contact with the adsorbent. The 4th one is the temperature. These are the 4 factors, important factors, which influence that is nature of that is extent of adsorption. First, let me take up the first one, adsorbate. See, if you come to the physical adsorption, it is not specific, I told you. It is possible on all surfaces. See, and that depends on the extent of adsorption depends on the nature of the adsorbent and adsorbate. See, the affinities we can't decide. The affinity between the hydrogen on the animal charcoal, the affinity between the hydrogen and that's the other one is the silica gel is we cannot nickel is we cannot tell the different. So that is we can't tell the nature of the adsorbent. What factors to be taken into consideration for a given adsorbent? The extent of the adsorption depends on the two things. One is that is and size of the particle. It is a surface phenomenon. Mass is not important. What is the surface area? Extent of the adsorption is directly proportional to the extent of the adsorption is directly proportional to the that is what do you see? The surface area. So if you divide out as you increase decrease the size of the particle, surface area increases, the extent of adsorption increases. So the adsorbent to be always taken in the finely divided form. As the size of the adsorbent decreases, extent of the surface area increases, extent of the adsorption increases. It should be always taken. Finely divided metal powders are taken as the catalysts. Same that the law we tell to the that is assigned to the catalysis. The catalyst to be taken in the finely divided state. That is the second one is that it should be activated. Activated adsorbent. I told you yesterday that is what is the meaning of that is activation. That is the surface of the adsorbent is active. It always attracts and retains the molecules of the gas. Always its surface is covered with the gas molecules present in the atmosphere. So already this surface is occupied. We call it as the gas is adsorbed on the surface. We call it as the impurities are present on the surface. Surface is not available for the adsorption. So activation, that is cleaning the surface of adsorbent. That is removal of the gas molecules from the surface of the adsorbent. For that it has to be so the adsorbent to be taken in the that is activated form. It should be in the finely divided state. Extent of adsorption is directly proportional to that is the total surface area. As the size of the particle decreases, extent of adsorption increases. The second one is the activated. It should be activated. That is all impurities to be removed. This is activation is carried by heating in the vacuum. So that is next one is and adsorbate. So that is normally we take the word adsorbates as gases. See, that is the adsorbate molecule, gas molecule has to establish the attractions with the surface of the adsorbent. Attractions, weak attractions. The gas should have the ability to establish the attractions with the surface. So that is the gas should be that is that is real. It should have the properties of the real gases. So that is there must be stronger intermolecular attraction between the gas molecules. So that is the measure of the stronger intermolecular attractions. The reality of the that is gases is that is measure is that TC, that is critical temperature. Every gas has its own critical temperature. The liquefaction is possible at that temperature or below that temperature. Above that temperature, liquefaction is not possible. So higher the critical temperature means it has the greater ability to establish the attractions. It more readily deviates from the gas loss. It readily undergoes the liquefaction. Therefore, I can say that the gases which readily liquefiable gases, the gases which easily undergo the liquefaction are adsorbed to the greater extent. Or other way we can tell, the gases which have the higher critical temperature, more readily it undergoes the liquefaction. That is, more readily it establishes the attractions with the surface. So deviates from the law. That is, Tc is the important property. That is critical temperature of the gas. Higher the critical temperature, that is greater extent that gas is absorbed. Extent of the absorption. See, for some gases, that is the decreasing order of the critical temperature, sulfur dioxide. Therefore, it is not obeying the gas laws under any conditions. This is chlorine. This is next one is the ammonia, easily liquefiable gas. This is HCl. This is carbon dioxide. This is methane. Next, after carbon dioxide, methane. You check out the list of critical temperatures. This is the decreasing order of the critical temperatures. This is carbon monoxide. This is nitrogen. This is oxygen. This is hydrogen. This is the order. This is decreasing order of Tc. Highest to this thing. So that is under similar conditions, extent of the sulfur dioxide absorption is more. Gas, that if you take the sulfur dioxide and hydrogen gas, that is the amount of the sulfur dioxide that is absorbed of the given, that is mass of the, this is more and that hydrogen is less. Higher the critical temperature, greater extent it is absorbed. Therefore, that is easily liquefiable gases are more greater extent absorbed. This is the case. For chemisorption, nothing doing. Chemisorption, chemical reaction is required. Not the boiling points and melting points and all these things. There must be a chemical affinity between this one. So nitrogen and oxygen are existing in the air, but they do not have the chemical affinity under normal conditions. So reaction to take place, it has to be heated to the nearly 3000 degrees Celsius. During the lightning, nitrogen and oxygen are combining and converting into the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is converted to nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide is dissolved in the rainwater or water, that is in the presence of the oxygen converted into the HNO3, nitrate fixation. The fixation of the nitrogen in the form of nitrate. So leave that apart. This is the adsorbent. And third factor is the pressure. So pressure of the gas. As the pressure increases, I told you, as the pressure increases, that is extent of the adsorption increases. In case of the physisorption, extent of adsorption increases. No doubt. I told you, as you increase the pressure, the number of gas molecules present in the unit volume increases and makes the more and more collisions with the surface of the adsorbent, and that is greater extent it is absorbed. Concentration increases, greater extent it increases as the pressure increases. But after certain pressure, that is and extent of adsorption is not affected due to complete saturation. That is, entire surface area is involved, no surface is left for the adsorption. Then if you increase the further increasing the pressure, that does not affect the extent of adsorption. So as the pressure increases, chemical adsorption increases, physical adsorption increases, both increases. Pressure is x by m is proportional to that is, we can say that x by m is proportional to, that is pressure of the gas. And next one is the temperature. So temperature also affects has the influence the extent of adsorption. So there are adsorption is it is a two-way process. One is the adsorption, other is the desorption. That is and adsorption is an exothermic process, desorption is an endothermic process. So that is if you increase the temperature, then what happens? The higher temperature conditions promote the endothermic process. Desorption is the endothermic process. Therefore, what happens as you increase the temperature, the molecules which are held up on the surface of the adsorbent are getting the sufficient energy and they come out from the break the bond and come out of the surface of this one. Extent of the adsorption decreases. So as the temperature increases, extent of adsorption decreases. Therefore, that is it may be a physical adsorption or chemical adsorption. As the temperature increases, that is extent of adsorption decreases. So, in case of the physical adsorption, chemical adsorption, as the temperature increases, initially the extent of adsorption increases because it is supplying the activation energy required for the reaction. But after certain temperature, on further increasing the temperature, the surface complex formed, that is the chemical compound formed on the surface of the adsorbent, is undergoing the decomposition and convert into the again decomposes. Desorption takes place. Therefore, this is temperature. Therefore, now I can write the one thing. The x by m is the extent of adsorption is a function of that is temperature and pressure. It is a function of temperature and pressure. But as the temperature increases, extent of adsorption decreases. As the pressure increases, that is extent of absorption increases. The effects of the temperature and pressure, that is exactly opposite. That is, this is increasing the extent of absorption, this is decreasing the extent of absorption. Therefore, we have to study the extent of absorption, the effect of the temperature on extent of absorption by taking the pressure constant, and effect of the pressure on extent of absorption by taking the other variable, that is temperature constant. If we determine the effect of the pressure on extent of the absorption by taking the temperature constant, it is called as absorption isotherm. Because that is, we are determining the relation between the extent of absorption and pressure by keeping the temperature constant. That is called as the absorption isotherm. Suppose if you find out the relation between the temperature and the extent of absorption by keeping the pressure constant, the observation is made under constant pressure conditions, that is called as the absorption isotherm. This is something about that is the types of adsorption and their characteristic properties, and second one is the factor that affect the extent of adsorption, right?